Hey, cheers, everybody. Welcome to Good Bets, Good Times. This is the podcast for the weekend warriors and the recreational DGens looking to level up their sports betting game and also, of course, have a great damn time doing it. I am your host, Nate Tuttle of NT Sports. Thank you for listening and joining us today. Today's episode, we're going to break down our week 0 bets, how we did over the weekend, what we learned. Then we'll talk about a loaded week 1 slate, the bets we're on, our leans, what we're not touching, and of course, our favorite bet of the weekend. And folks, football season is here. Like, we're all the way back. All right, we got a little taste last week in week 0, but now we're all in it. We have a full slate of week 1 college football games this week and weekend. We have games on Thursday. We have games on Friday. We have games on Saturday. And whoa, hey, we're not done there because we have games on Sunday. And last but not least, we have a game on Monday night, a college football game on Monday night, folks. That's 5 straight days of college football action. Who's got it better than us, huh? Nobody. Football season is here. Life is good. And welcome to the podcast. Of course, as always, if you could do us a solid, if you are listening, if you're out there, you're having a good time, you're enjoying the bets, then, please subscribe, rate, review, whatever podcast platform you're listening on. Give us a follow on all the social media sites as well. We appreciate it. We'd love to interact. We love to hang out, and we love talking ball. So with that being said, let's get into it. The good, the bad, the what the fuck. Week 0. How did we do? Well, 1-1. Minus 0.09 units. Okay. Not the best start, but also not the worst start. Hey, we're getting our feet wet, all right? Week 1, we are testing the waters. Okay? Just getting back in the swing of things. It's kind of like our preseason, right? And we talked about last week, we didn't want to get too crazy. We weren't going to bet every game, although we wanted to. Let's start with the good. Kansas minus 13.5 came home for us versus Fresno State. Kansas breaking in that beautiful new stadium. And Jalen Daniels was as advertised. We nailed this one. He threw, ran all over Fresno State. This was a no-doubter. Fresno scored a touchdown in the first quarter. It was 7-7. Kansas goes on from there to win 31-7. Well above the 13.5 that we bet here. This game closed at 14, so we got a little bit of CLV. Love this bet, felt good about it, and got us home. That's our 1 win of the weekend. Now, the bad, Kansas State. This game was ugly, man. Like, from the beginning of the game, the initial muff punt, all the turnovers, Kansas State just killed themselves over and over again with penalties, failed 4th down conversions. K-State won the yardage battle again this year. To me, I still think Kansas State is the better team of these two, but sloppy first game. And granted, this probably should have been a home game in Manhattan. This game probably should have been played in October, November. So put them in a tough spot. But same old Kansas State, man. Past couple of years, they've done this thing where they lose these games that you expect them to win. They're not covering these games you expect them to cover. I lost quite a few bets on Kansas State last season. Lost my first one this year. So this is going to be a team we're eyeing up to, we're going to tread lightly with Kansas State going forward. Iowa State, on the other hand, they're a team that, I feel like you can count on Iowa State to cover one of these games. And I should have known with the hook, that minus 3.5. I thought we were getting baited a little bit. I thought the books wanted us to take that 3.5 on Iowa State. And like I said, I'm not going to call this a good bet, a bad bet. This is probably not a bet we would make on a full slate of games, but it's one I did feel pretty good about. So falls in the bad column this week. That's our 1 loss. And then last but not least, what the fuck? We only had 2 bets, so this is a non-bet of ours, but it's one we were eyeing up. And I mentioned on the podcast last week, this Hawaii-Stanford game, this number is getting a little out of control. It flipped all the way up to Hawaii 2.5, and I said if I could find if a 3 popped up, I'm popping on Stanford. And it would have pushed. The game ended 23-20, but Stanford was in control of this game. Neither one of these teams played very well. Hawaii's quarterback got hurt, came back in, gritted it out. Stanford came out in the second half and was just running the ball all over Hawaii. Decided to throw some questionable passes late in the game. They're up 3, driving, 6 minutes to go. Quarterback gets picked off on a little dump pass. Changes the game. Hawaii drives, kicks a game-tying field goal with about 2 minutes to go. Stanford immediately follows it up with a quick 3-and-out, punts. Hawaii goes down, and chaos on the island. Nails the game-winning field goal, and they win by 3. So I think that cap was right. Dead on. I mean, Hawaii was the bet, but like I said, the line was getting a little crazy at -2.5. I didn't feel that confident in this Hawaii team. And not feeling confident in this Hawaii team from here on out. I don't have any bets on them on their season. I was leaning towards our win total over. Didn't touch it. Stanford, this is a bad team. They can run the ball. They can not throw the ball. Their defense is okay. But it's going to be a tough season in the ACC for the old Stanford Cardinal. And that's the weekend. It's a quick one. Not many games. A couple other points. UNLV, Idaho State took them to the limit. I was down on UNLV. I know a lot of folks had picked them to win the Mountain West and make the playoff. I was out on that, and I think my read there was correct. They have to travel down to Texas to play Sam Houston State. A game we were kind of eyeing up, but I don't really give a shit about either one of these teams, so I'm not touching that game. I would lean Sam Houston State, though, getting, 10 points. Next up, let's talk about week 1. We got a full slate of games starting on Thursday night, and we've locked in 7 bets. We'll talk about 6 here. We'll save 1 for the end of the episode when we talk about our favorite. You can call it a best bet. You can call it a lock. Don't call it a lock. It's not a lock. Nothing's a lock. Input whatever cliche tout phrase you want to throw in there. This is a nuclear missile whale play game of the century. Best bet, end of the show. We'll talk about it. But first and foremost, let's kick it off here with Thursday night. 7 p.m. ACC Network. We have East Carolina at NC State down in Raleigh, Carter Finley Stadium. This is an in-state rivalry. We bet this at +14. East Carolina getting the points. +14 at -109. Market, this opened in the summer, 11.5. Shot all the way up to 14. We pounced on it at 14. I don't think it's going to go any higher. There's a little bit of juice up towards NC State, so maybe a 14.5 pops. I'm fine with it at 14. I have this line at 12.5. And a couple reasons why I'm betting this game. Really, both these teams I'm fairly neutral on, to be honest. I think both are borderline bowl teams. ECU won 8 games last year. NC State had a down season for them at 6-7. Both had their quarterbacks coming back. CJ Bailey for NC State and Caton Hauser for ECU. Dave Dorn's team seems to be trending down a little bit. But I do think they improved from last year, so they do have a shot. I don't know if they'll be good enough to get past that 6-7 win mark. Like I said, I think their ceiling is probably a bowl team at 6-7 wins. ECU, on the other hand, 8 win last year. They may take a step back. And 2 teams that I don't have any action on as far as season win totals or any futures, or teams I really don't care a whole lot about. But this is a fun one. This is an in-state rivalry, as I mentioned, at NC State. East Carolina beat NC State in the bowl game last year. These teams are different, but not that much different. 14 to me is a little outrageous, and what I think will be at best a single-digit victory by NC State. So we are riding with the Pirates of ECU at +14, -109. Next up, we got Nebraska playing Cincinnati. Love this game. Also Thursday night, 9 p.m. on ESPN. This is a neutral site game at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. The line right now sitting at 6.5. We bet this at 7. So we got Cincinnati +7, -110. The NTS projections make this 5.5. So we're seeing some value here at 7. I wouldn't personally bet this any lower than 7. I want that clean +7 number there. And I think from what I just saw a few minutes ago, there is one straggler, depending on where you're located, of course, and what books you have access to. For me in Ohio, I have one +7 still out there available. And why am I betting this one? I'm trusting my number here. And I think the market agrees. So it hit 7, came back down to 6.5. I think 7's the ceiling there, where you're seeing some buyback on the Cincinnati team. And to be honest, I'm higher in Cincinnati than most folks this season. So this is a make or break year for Scott Satterfield in his 3rd year. He brings back a strong core, went in the portal, improved the defense. They have junior quarterback Brandon Sorsby coming back, dual threat guy. Offense has improved overall as well. And to me, this is not only a bowl team, but it's a team that's going to be very feisty all season long. They're going to be battling in every game that they play in. And the question mark is Scott Satterfield's team, these Cincinnati teams in particular, they've lost a lot of close games. And to get over the hump, they really need to improve late in games and putting teams away. So we'll see if they can do that this year. If they can keep this, I'm pretty confident they can keep this within the number, then one score. Nebraska's a team I like as well. And this is Dylan Raiola's sophomore season, 2nd full year as a starter, 3rd season under Matt Rule. And he's got Dana Holgerson taking over full time as the offensive coordinator. He took over late in the year last year, and the offense drastically improved when he was leading the offense. So I project this team, this offense especially, to take a step forward. Defense, they'll be good. They'll be okay. I don't think they'll be as good as last year. They lose some talent on the defensive line. But to me, it comes down to this is a much more evenly matched game than the market's projecting. I'm trusting my numbers. This is going to be a slugfest down in Kansas City. Give me the Bearcats +7. Next up, also, 3rd game. We got 3 bets on Thursday night. Last one, late game out in San Jose. Thursday night, 10:30 on FS1 if you want to check this one out. If you're on the East Coast like me, probably going to fall asleep. Not going to be able to see the end of this game, but I'm betting San Jose with confidence here. So this is an interesting one. We put this in at -11 we got San Jose State -11, -113. We project this at San Jose -14.3. And this line shot up today. I think we just beat the steam here, which was sort of pure luck. I mean, I wasn't projecting this to shoot up this fast. I knew this number would go up eventually. But literally today, it went from 11.5 to 13.5 in about half an hour, a couple hours after we bet it. And we did get the -11, so feeling pretty good about it. It's still sitting at -13.5, which I would bet this anything under 2 touchdowns. So 13.5 still feels good to me based on my projections. And my analysis here is pretty straightforward. So San Jose State with Coach Ken, got Walker Eget coming back off a 7-win season last year. Pretty high on San Jose State competing in the Mountain West, especially after what I saw from UNLV net last week. Long travel for Central Michigan, the Chippewas coming out to the West Coast. And this is with first-year head coach Matt Drinkle taking over from Jim McElwain. 4-8 team last year, got a little bit of a rebuild on his hands. And this is a tough spot for Central Michigan with against a San Jose State team who is on the rise. And as I mentioned, a team we project to win this by 2+ touchdowns. So late one, Thursday night, we're on San Jose State, -11, -113, and there's still -13.5s out there. This number shot up, so still feeling good about that. If you want to ride on the San Jose State Spartans, I'm still feeling good about the -13.5 there. Next up, we got Georgia Tech. I love this game. We have Georgia Tech at Colorado, Friday night, 8 p.m. on ESPN, Folsom Field in Boulder. And we bet this at Colorado +5, -112, which it looks like there still is a 5 hanging out there. I was waiting around for this one. I wasn't sure how high it was going to get. This went up from, it did open earlier in the summer at 4.5, dropped down a little bit, went back up to 4.5, and that's where it sits today. But I saw a 5 pop up, and I immediately pounced on it. It's weird because my projections here, they do make this Colorado favored by 2. So I'm not that confident. I'm not a money line guy on this. I still think Georgia Tech's going to win this game. This is a Georgia Tech team who has to travel out to Boulder. I can't even remember the last time, I've been trying to look this up, but it hasn't been within the last 5 years, that they played a game out west. And this is a tall task. In elevation at Boulder, Friday night, under the lights, first game of the season. Coach Prime, beaten cancer over the summer, coming back. This team's going to rally around them. They're going to play a tough game. I'm high on Caden Salter. I think that's a great get for them. Experienced quarterback coming in. They're going to change the offense up a little bit this year. It's not going to be as pass heavy as it was in the past with Shadur Sanders. And of course, you're losing Travis Hunter again on the defensive side of the ball. But Coach Prime has been heavy in the portal. First of all, I'm down on Colorado. I do have their win total under this year. But for this first game, and Tech's a team I'm high on. I think Tech's going to compete in the ACC. But this simply comes down to numbers. I mean, at 5, I think this is a field goal game, honestly. I think Tech pulls this out late. I think Colorado battles. And this is what I'm looking forward to watching. Like I said, I have Colorado projected as the favorite. Line's a little off there. I'm not trusting my projections fully. Colorado is going to win this game. But, I mean, realistically, I would take the 4.5 as well if it's still out there. Probably wouldn't go much lower than 4. Maybe a 3.5 if you're feeling a little more confident than me, but definitely at 4.5, 5. This is a play in my book. On the Buffaloes with Georgia Tech coming to town. So that's Colorado +5. We got it at -112. Head into Saturday. So we have Alabama, number 8 Alabama, going to Florida State. Saturday at 3:30 on ABC, Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee. We bet this at Alabama -13, -110. And we have this as a route, to be honest with you. We project this all the way up to -19.2. It looks like you still can get it juiced up 13.5 at -115, depending on where you are and what books you have access to. There are some 14s out there already popping up. And I know people are expecting a bounce back from Florida State. Not a big bounce back. I mean, I think their ceiling is a bowl team this year, winning 6-7 games. I'm not high on Thomas Castellanos. We know how I feel about Alabama. I think they're a legit national championship contender this year. With Kalen DeBoer, I'm a Kalen DeBoer truther. We have Coach Grubb coming in, leading this offense. We got Ty Simpson, a quarterback who I think fits Kalen DeBoer's system a lot better than Jalen Miller did last year. This defense is stacked, could be top 3 defense in the entire country. And they're going to feast on Florida State. This is a tough game for FSU. I know it's at Florida State. This is a big number to be laying on a road favorite, but very high in the Crimson Tide this year, very confident. And if I'm wrong, then we got to make some adjustments. Maybe Florida State is better than we think. Maybe they're going to really transform back into what they were 2 years ago. Maybe Alabama is who they were last year, a team that struggles on the road and winning these types of games. But I don't think so. I think this is a new Alabama team. This is the second year under Kalen DeBoer, and this is going to be 2 touchdowns plus. So I would bet this. I have it -13. I would still bet. You can still find that out there. I would even bet it up at a slightly higher juice at -115, or you can get a slightly cheaper -14. Feel good about that too. Like I said, I have this projected at 19, so which could be a little too much noise from last season still on this Florida State team going 2-10. But even if you cut a few points off of that, I'm still feeling good at the 14. So love this Alabama game. Last bet we have locked in so far is TCU at North Carolina. This game is the last game of the week. It's on Monday night. It's in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. The line's sitting at -3.5. TCU -3.5. This line's kind of bounced around a little bit. Opened up at +3. It's went up to 3.5 towards TCU, where it still sits. And this is one that's a little tricky for me because we do project this TCU around TCU -9, which is a little bit high for me. Ideally, I would just taking the 3. I don't quite like the 3.5. There's too many unknowns at North Carolina. They do have Gia Lopez coming in. We know Bill Belichick. TCU is a team I'm very high on. Josh Hoover. I think he's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the Big 12. And I think this TCU team, top to bottom, is much better than North Carolina. They do have to go on the road. And I don't know what to expect from Bill Belichick and how he's going to lead this North Carolina Tar Heels team. And so with this game, I just went money line. I project money line closer to -250. I got it at -152. I'm looking at the lines now. If you are interested in this game, looks like money lines are lowest one I'm seeing is -160 on TCU. So I'm not messing with the points. Being this a road game, another road favorite for me, which I don't really enjoy betting road favorites. But I just want TCU. I think TCU is going to win this game. We'll be by 3. We'll be by 7. We'll be by 10 to 14. Not 100% sure. So we're going safe. We're going conservative. Betting the TCU Horned Frogs money line at -152 is a road favorite against North Carolina in the new Bill Belichick era, which could go one of two ways. This might be a disaster, or he could turn North Carolina into a juggernaut. I have no clue. So fade North Carolina, going with TCU here. And those are the 6 bets we have locked in so far. Next up, we're going to talk about some leans, some games that are popping in our system here that we like, but we don't love. We're circling the waters. We may dive in. We may bite at some point, but as of right now, we haven't fired away. So first one, and this one's interesting. I'm pretty torn here. I really do want to bet this, but I kind of hate it. It's New Mexico traveling out to Ann Arbor, number 14 Michigan. This is Saturday night, 7:30 on NBC and Peacock. Michigan's favorite right now at -34.5, which is about where this line opened up earlier in the summer. It did peak a little bit at 36.5 for a bit. It got bet back down to -34.5. We know Bryce Underwood is the official starting quarterback of Michigan. No doubt Michigan rolls in this game. New Mexico is sort of rebuilding. They lost their quarterback to Utah, OC to Utah. This is a new team. I don't think they're going to be able to score against Michigan. My only hesitation here is Bryce Underwood in his first game. Is Michigan going to want to pile it on here? Is going to be able to pile it on? Are they going to run the ball? Are they going to play good defense? Are they going to get out of here with giving Bryce Underwood some reps? This is the perfect first game for him. New Mexico has virtually no defense. The total on this is only 49.5, which I would definitely lean under. And at -34.5, I have slight hesitation. But as I mentioned, my NTS model projects -41.5 here for Michigan. So there's a pretty big edge. There's a lot of value here. It's one of my top edges on the board this week, and I might be talking myself into a bet here. So you can get to -34.5 at -108. 34.5 is a pretty solid number. There are 35s out there. It is juice up, so it'll probably go back up. I imagine it's going to get blown back up before kickoff. So this is one, if you can get the 34.5 and you're feeling more confident about Bryce Underwood in this Michigan offense than I am, go ahead and fire away. This should be a blowout. Will they get to 35? Probably. I don't know if New Mexico can score on this Michigan defense. I just don't know if what Michigan's game plan in here is with Bryce Underwood, true freshman, making his first start. So lean, staying away for right now. We will see if we get on this one. Next one, game that I love, I'm definitely going to be watching. LSU, number 9 LSU, number 4 Clemson, 7:30 on ABC on Saturday night. This is at one of the Death Valleys. You can debate all you want about what the True Death Valley is. I'm not a Clemson or LSU guy, so I don't really give a shit, but this is Memorial Stadium down in Clemson, South Carolina. Clemson is favored by 3.5 points, and this is one where I have projected at Clemson minus 3.3, so not a ton of value there. I do lean LSU, and I really want to fire on LSU. I did see a 4 pop up, and there's still a 4 is out there. So I may need to jump on that. So there is still a 4 at minus 110, still sitting out there. Consensus line is minus 3.5. I'm fairly new. I think both these teams are rated right where they should be, to be honest. I think Clemson wins the ACC. I don't think they're a true national championship contender. This is a new era. I don't think this Clemson team's built to win a national championship, even with Clay coming back, coming out of the ACC. This is SEC Big Ten year once again. But I think they can win a few playoff games. LSU, I think they can with Garrett Nussmeier, Heisman contender. If their defense can step up, this LSU team's going to score points. This is going to be a fun game. If I bet this, it's going to be LSU getting 4 points as we project this at, as I mentioned, 3.3. So not a ton of value there. But this did pop up some 4.5, opened at 3, went up to 3.5, 4.5, back down to 3.5. So I think the market's agreeing with me at a 4. It's probably a good bet, in my opinion, based on what I'm seeing. This is going to be a fun game regardless. So stay tuned there. Obviously, with all these leans, follow us on the Action app. As soon as it goes in the app, you'll see it. I have my analysis there. So throughout the weekend, make sure you're staying tuned. The last one's Auburn Baylor. It's another one where I'm definitely leaning Baylor. I want to bet Baylor. I would love to have a 3 here. This 2.5 is worrying me a little bit, although it could be a little bait by the sports books here, leaving this 2.5, expecting folks to jump on Auburn here. But this is a blackout game. This is in Waco. This is at Baylor. This game is Friday night, 8 p.m. on Fox, McLean Stadium in Waco. As I mentioned, Auburn is favored by the 2.5 right now. We have this projected at Auburn by 1.5. So there is value on the 2.5. Like I said, I would love to get a 3. I don't know if it's going to be there. This line really hasn't moved. It opened at 2.5. It's been sitting pretty steady. It did flip a little bit in the summer. Baylor was favored there for a few weeks in July, it looks like. Then it bounced back to Auburn plus 2.5. Juice is even across the board. I do see a couple 2s out there, actually. So maybe this number is going to go back down. So I don't know if we'll get there on Baylor 2.5. This is a game we're going to watch. It's going to be a fun one Friday night. Am high on Baylor, bouncing back this year, competing in the Big 12. Auburn, I am down on. They're a team I faded, team to miss the playoff. And yeah, so stay tuned there once again. Follow in the app. We'll see if we can get a 3 to pop. If not, maybe we'll bet the Baylor 2.5 Friday night. But another game that we're leaning, circling, I haven't quite pulled the trigger on, but stay tuned. And now here's some games that we are absolutely not betting as it stands today. And I'll tell you why. First off, this is called the Blacklist. These are games that are happening this weekend. These are big games that we're going to watch, we're going to enjoy, but we're not betting for a multitude of reasons. First one is the big game. Number 1, Texas goes into Columbus against number 3, Ohio State, 12 noon, big noon kickoff on Fox at Ohio Stadium, the Horseshoe, Columbus, Ohio. And my numbers are telling me at Ohio State, which they currently sit at minus 1.5. This number's dropped from 2.5 down to 1.5. So there's money coming in on Texas. I think it opened up at 3 at one point, briefly, early in June at some books. It's kind of bounced around all summer. And then, now it's down as of this past couple days, down to 1.5. There are still some 2.5s out there if you like Texas. I'd prefer Ohio State money line here. I have them protected at 3.5. But once again, a lot of unknowns. This is the championship team from last year. A lot of turnover. We know Ohio State's going to reload. They do have a young, inexperienced quarterback coming in. First game as a Buckeye is against the number 1 team in the country. Fortunately, it's at home. This is the Arch Manning era at Texas. We've talked about how we feel about Arch, Steve Sarkisian. This is a prove-it year. for both of them. I've said it for the past few weeks. Ohio State should be the number one team in the country right now. And if Texas wants that spot, they got to go in and win this game. I think they can, but the reason I'm staying away from this is, one, this is going to be a great game. I'm going to love just to sit down and watch this game. I'm not going to have any action on it, even though I lean in Ohio State. And if I were to bet this, I would bet Ohio State, but just too many unknowns at both quarterback positions. We don't know how Arch is going to do in his first full year as a starter, his first start going in, number one team in the country, huge expectations, Heisman favorite going into Ohio State. Ohio State's defense is going to be really good again this year. Maybe not as great as last year under Jim Knowles. Got Matt Patricia coming in as OC or DC, Brian Hartline taking over as OC. So a lot of changes at Ohio State, which makes me want to stay away, but also not back in Texas because my numbers are kind of far off, projecting Ohio State as the favorite. So that Ohio State, Texas on the blacklist. Going to love to watch this game. No action. The next one, Virginia Tech, South Carolina. Tech is a team that I've talked about all summer as a team that I'm high on. I have their win total over. I have a 4,500 long shot for them to win the ACC. This is a bounce back year for Tech. A lot of changes. They improve via the portal. Have this game sitting at South Carolina -9. And this game is on Sunday. This is a neutral site game down in Atlanta, Georgia, Sunday at 3 o'clock. Standalone game, number 13, South Carolina versus Virginia Tech. Love the Hokies. Fairly neutral in South Carolina. I think they're appropriately rated, sitting at number 13. The reason I'm not betting this game is I already have a lot at stake on Virginia Tech. I would, if I did bet this game, I would lean toward Virginia Tech. But numbers say not to, so I'm staying away just because I could be completely wrong in this team. And if I am completely wrong in this team, it's going to show up real quick. So I'm already all in on the futures bets. So this one makes the blacklist. Not touching this. It's going to be pulling for Virginia Tech. I hope they keep this close and prove that this is going to be a team that's going to be competitive all year long. Maybe they pull the upset. This line's sitting at -7.5. It did fall, which is a good sign. I think if I could have got this earlier in the summer when it was sitting at 9.5, that's a definite bet, in my opinion. But at 7.5, probably going to stay away. I don't know if this is going to go down anymore or if it's going to go back up. We'll see if this line changes over the weekend. But Virginia Tech, South Carolina, love this game. Going to watch on Sunday, but is on the blacklist. Not touching it. The last one, Notre Dame, Miami. This game's on Sunday night. Another standalone game on Sunday night, 7:30 ABC at Hard Rock Stadium down in Miami. Number 6, Fighting Irish. Number 10, Miami Hurricanes. And this is another one where I want to bet Miami. I really do want to bet Miami. This game's at 2.5. Notre Dame's the road favorite here. And I want to bet Miami money line. I want to bet Miami, but once again, my numbers are saying this is a Notre Dame -4 game. This is telling me to bet Notre Dame, but I can't do it. I like this Miami team. Carson Beck behind this top-end offensive line, this much-improved defense. Last year's defense was a disaster, and it cost them a playoff spot. This defense much improved. How's Carson Beck going to do against the Notre Dame defense? How is the new starting quarterback Carr going to do for the Fighting Irish? His first start's a road start too at Miami. I don't know. This game I'm going to watch. I'm going to enjoy. Once again, I want Miami. I lean towards Miami. I think Miami can win this game. Numbers say Notre Dame. I'm conflicted. I'm torn. So this game on the blacklist. But hey, we're going to love it. We're going to watch. And last but not least, there's a lot of other games in this slate that we are going to love to watch that we're not touching. One of those, Thursday night, Boise State traveling out to Tampa, Florida in the heat, south Florida. Number 25, Boise State, coming off their playoff berth last year. This is a game that has moved a ton. I would have bet South Florida if I would have jumped on this earlier in the summer. Right now, my numbers are flashing bet Boise State. Going to stay away. Not quite in the blacklist because I still would love to bet South Florida here. I think this is a tough road spot for Boise State. South Florida is a much improved team over last year. This should be a one-score game. It's going to be a fun one, but we're going to sit back and watch. Another one we're interested in, Thursday night again. This is Buffalo at Minnesota, 8 p.m. on FS1 up in Minneapolis. And the reason I'm so intrigued by this game is Buffalo is one of those teams that folks have just been loving on out of the MAC this year. There's a lot of people who believe Buffalo can win this conference. And they're sitting at plus 18 right now. My numbers say take Minnesota at it's also right at minus 18. So the number's spot on. So we're staying away. No bet on this game. I would lean towards Buffalo, but I want to see it. I'm not super convinced that Buffalo is the team that everyone's making them out to be, that they're going to make a run at the MAC. And Minnesota's a team I do like. So we're going to enjoy this game, staying away. Next one, Utah, UCLA. I've talked about Utah. I'm all in on the Utes. They're my team to win the Big 12 this year. They got Devin Dampier coming in, long shot Heisman favorite. The offense is going to be much improved. Kyle Whittingham's defense is going to be back. They're going to be just as good as they were the past couple seasons, if not better. Kind of concerned about the playmakers at the skill position, but I think Devin Dampier and his legs can make up for it and move the ball here. We got Nico at UCLA. My numbers say take UCLA at the 6.5. This number's down all the way down to 5.5. Then it has bounced up at a few spots, back up to 6.5. So I think the number's sitting at exactly the right spot. Stay away here, but I'm very intrigued in. I expect Utah to come out and win this game and prove that they are a legit contender this year. And so we'll see. We'll sit back and enjoy this one. Then we have UTSA at number 19, Texas A&M. This is a game that also big on UTSA, the Roadrunners. They're my pick to win the American this year. And I want to see if they can compete here. I'm curious. I like Texas A&M as well. I think they're a team that could make the playoff. But game we're really going to enjoy watching. Curious to see how UTSA can compete against an SEC school. I don't expect them to win this. This spread is Texas A&M minus 23.5, which I think is about right. We would lean. Yeah, we have this at minus 20. So do have a slight lean to UTSA, but this line has jumped up from 22 to 24, sitting back at 23. So a little bit of buyback there. But we're not going to touch this game just because we're all in on UTSA. We want to see it once again, just like Virginia Tech, a team that we're in on their futures and win totals. No need to bet this game, but it's going to be a fun one to watch, in my opinion. Next, Rice is another team that we have their win total over. I'm super curious to watch them play at Louisiana. This line one's moved down. This is one that I would have bet if I could have got this earlier when it was up over 14. I think it's down to minus 13 now. Oh, this is down to 11.5 now. Yeah, so at the opener, this is one, if you could have pounced on, I would have taken Rice here. But they have this new look option offense coming in. I'm very high in this team. I don't know if they'll be a 6-win bowl team, but I definitely like their over 3.5 win total that we bet. So one, I'm super intrigued to see how this team performs. I think they keep this within single digits against Louisiana. If you're more confident than me, my numbers just say it's 13, and the number is leaning towards Louisiana at this point. So fun one. We're going to watch, enjoy. And the last one, Toledo at Kentucky. Kentucky's a very, very trendy road underdog, given their history of knocking off SEC teams, Power 5 teams in general earlier in the year. They're the favorite to win the MAC, return a ton of their roster. This game's sitting at minus 8.5 right now. We have it at Kentucky minus 12. So there could be an opportunity to buy back on Kentucky here, but too risky for me. Toledo's a team that could definitely go in and pull an upset here. Toledo's a team I like, but Kentucky, they're not a team that that usually gets upset in these type of games. But very intriguing to see how Toledo's going to go and perform in this game. So another one that we're loving. So those are the games that not betting, not leaning, have no positions on, but we are going to be watching. Finally, to close out the show, we have our, I know folks love best bets. I know they love these, what's your favorite bet? What's your lock of the weekend? What are you rolling with? And I'm not usually a fan of the best bets. I love all my bets. Every bet I make, I love it like I love my children. There's no favorites. If it's a good bet, it's a good bet across the board. But hey, we'll have some fun here. Why not? So this is the main event. This is the no doubter. This is my say it with your chest. The Stone Cold, Thor's Hammer, Nuclear Whale, one bet to rule them all. NT Sports Play of the Week. And we have Tennessee minus 13.5 against Syracuse. Saturday, 12 p.m. on ABC. Mercedes-Benz Stadium, neutral site game in Atlanta, Georgia. And to be honest, we're not super high on Tennessee. It's just that we're really down on Syracuse. And we're on their win total under. This is a 10-win team last year. They lost a ton. This has rout by Tennessee written all over it. I'll be curious to see what Joey Aguilar is going to do coming from App State into Tennessee. I think he's a solid fit for this offense and what Josh Heupel wants to run. Minus 13, this game has jumped up to minus 14, where I still like it. I project this game at 19. This is an absolute rout by the Volunteers. Syracuse is depleted. They're in rebuild mode this year. We're on their win total under. I couldn't be more down on Syracuse. So the first bet that we made this week, the bet that we love, our first best bet, main event, no doubter, say it with your chest, play of the week of the season is Tennessee minus 13.5. We got this straight up at minus 110. And this number has jumped up to minus 14, which another reason why I don't love coming out and saying best bets is because these numbers do change. And at 13.5, yeah, it's my best bet. At 14, would it be my best bet at 2 touchdowns? I like it anything over 2 touchdowns or 2 touchdowns or under. So go ahead. If you want to follow us along, still confident at the minus 14. There are some juiced up minus 13.5s out there too, if you so like that. But yeah, that wraps it up, folks. So, hey, we got a lot of football this weekend. Once again, if you want to follow along on our bets, any of the leans we may jump on, we talked about the 7 that we currently have locked in, but there may be a few more. I don't want to get too crazy in week 1. So 7 might be our max. We may get to 9 bets this weekend, a few more that we're liking. But if you want to check those out, follow us along on the Action Network app, where you can see all of our bets and analysis in real time. Username NTSports22. Follow us along, set up alerts if you like. We'll also post as much as we can on the social platforms, bets we're eyeing up. Feel free to interact, connect with us. We love talking ball online. And last but not least, of course, don't forget to rate and review the podcast wherever you listen. Feel free to subscribe, set up alerts. And thank you once again for listening. Thank you for the support. Good luck this weekend, team. Let's bet smart, cash some tickets. As always, good bets, good times. Cheers.